You are now listening to Out of the Blank.
Welcome to another episode of Out of the Blank podcast. I'm here with Mohit, Aery.
Yeah, hi Robbie, how are you?
I'm doing all right, man. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and what do you do professionally?
Uh, yeah, hi, my name is Mohit, as you introduced. I'm actually at the moment a founder of a company called Hempistani. It's like a company where we are actually focused on of spreading awareness about cannabis, hemp, CBD, all the cannabinoids, all the medical uses about the cannabis, right?
For
And
someone that just knows the smoking portion of marijuana, tell me a little bit about things that people don't really know about hemp in general or cannabis. It seems like it gets this really bad stigma by a lot of people because of the way I guess the people that smoke it most of the time represent like hippie type situation when really
Mhm.
it is such a medical benefit. The fact that we're not using it more now is pretty
Yes,
insane.
yeah, it is. I mean, if I let's say talk about India here, cannabis has always been a part of Indian culture, or let's say Indian history from, I mean, like 20,000 years ago. And it's been used as an Ayurvedic medicine, as a medicine, been using by our ancestors as a medicine. Now, after this 1981 bill, it got banned. The consumption got banned, and even the sale got banned in India. Even still, there are a lot of, if we talk about the Indian history here, yeah, still there are a lot of people, what they think is that when you talk about cannabis, it only belongs when you get addicted to it. That's what people think about cannabis. That's what people think about hemp. Though on certain
I
situation,
thought I thought cannabis wasn't addicting though.
yes, it is. That's what the stigma is all about. It has been categorized as a Schedule One drug, right? Where people think it's a drug and it makes you an additive. It's make you a junkie. That's what the whole stigma is all about. Though cannabis is called as an Indian name called bhang, where the bhang is being consumed in when there is any kind of a spiritual gathering, like any time in a year, it gets consumed legally there, right? People are consuming that. People know, yes, it connects them through spirituality. It's been there, but yes, stigma is still there. That if you smoke it, you're an addict, or you people what they call it in India, HSC. You smoke a lot of cigarettes.
A lot of that stigma gets kind of thrown around because of the fact that a lot of people that do smoke it or want to consider be called labeled a stoner or something is because the fact
Yeah.
it's a very powerful drug. It's very good for I guess really kind of putting your body in a homeostasis type thing where it's being able to recover, it's being able to think. Sometimes it helps with problem solving, but a lot of the time it does promote a little bit of laziness compared to how you averagely function, mostly because if you're smoking it and you're smoking it 24/7, you're not going to want to go do anything because you're already having basically the time of your life while you're smoking it.
If we talk about the smoking a cannabis here, it's the stigma is all because lack of knowledge, right? There is only one thing which is revolving around in the mind that gets you high. It gets you stoned. Now we know the medical purpose, the medical components of this marijuana. There is THC there, CBD is there. There are a lot of cannabinoids which can help your body. Now, if I if I educate someone, or if I have a proper knowledge that how can I use those cannabinoids as a medicine, right? Everything, even if we talk about alcohol, it got invented because of the as a medicine. People start abusing it, and same goes with the marijuana too. When there is a lack of knowledge, we don't know how to use it medicinally. You will end up taking as much you want. You're going to have your own experience. Yes, let's try this, let's try that. What is going to give it to me? If I talk about someone who don't want to try this, they always have a stigma. Oh, it's going to get me high. I don't know what's going to happen with my mind. Or probably people get paranoid first time they intake THC in their body. they're not able to understand it. That it's your endocannabinoid system which is affecting now. That's what you need in your body to keep you healthy. And that's what helps you fighting all the ailments, even the life-threatening ailments too. So that's what this
So
stigma is all
wh-
about.
when it comes to when it comes to the medical aspect of things, you can see marijuana, you can see CBD promote in many different ways, but they're all kind of a little bit different. Now, which one do you think is the most productive, would you say? Would it be hemp? Would it be cannabis? Or would it be CBD?
See, every cannabinoid of the cannabis is important for the body, and every cannabinoid is required for a different kind of treatment. If I let's say if I talk about in general, someone have a issue of anxiety, someone have an issue of overthinking, CBD can help me to yes mellow my mind down to keep me straight and think yes I can do this. Now if you need something in your body where let's say for example there are cancer in your body or cancer cells are there, you require THC to kill those cells. So every component, every cannabinoid of the cannabis is important. You just need a guidance, you just need a consultant how you can use it and for what basis you can use it. Do you require CBD for yourself? Yes, you need CBD. You need THC because you have a life-threatening thing, or you have something that require more than CBD. You have to take CBD, THC. So every cannabinoid is important of cannabis.
But what's the difference between hemp, cannabis, and CBD when they seem like three completely different things, not just in the basis of consumption, but like if you were going to put them into an aspect of like if you were going to give them like human-like characteristics, how would you describe hemp, cannabis, and CBD? I like to think of cannabis as more of like like a person in yoga robes. That's more like an overall mental clarity type thing, like more of a head high. And then CBD seems more of like a weightlifter, like more of the body high. Like you need to get the physical aspect, worrying about like rubs, lotions, all these types of oils that go on your skin.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk about here. Cannabis is the mothership here. All right. It's the mother plant here. Now you can go grow it in very different aspects. Let's say you can grow it in hemp. You can grow it in marijuana. What is hemp? Where it's been grown on an industrial basis, where seed has been genetically made seed bank that yes, it's gonna give me a hemp cultivation which gonna have a high on CBD and less on THC. You cannot expect the hemp to grow wildly, unlike marijuana, because for hemp you require industrial seeds. You require to grow it in a compound where you can control everything according to you. So it just gives you the CBD effects. That's what been legalized so far, right? That is the reason hemp has been emphasized more. That CBD is there, it's gonna help people anyhow. But if you talk about marijuana it grows wildly, right? It can grow anywhere here. There is no way that you can control the CBD compound and the THC compound because you're not doing it industrially. Now you can grow it anywhere according to the range of the land. Let's say if it's on a higher land, it's gonna give you more THC. It's gonna give you more female birds. If it's on a land, it's gonna give you yes probably a lesser THC, and along with that a male plant, which is I mean if I talk further here, male plant is actually where you get the sativa, and female plant is something where you get the indica. Sativa.
Why is there such a difference just in male and female, though? It seems like indica, I know they call it indica because it's more of a head high. It makes you kind of go into your mind a little bit more when sativas, like they consider that like the laughing one, the overall, like this body high.
Now, why people prefer, why, I mean, not prefer, I would say this way that why sativa is good for the hemp? Because when you talk about CBD, you require something which gonna take care of these things like anxious. If you're anxious, it's gonna help you. So you require a head high, all right? If I talk about, let's say THC here, where you require someone, I talked about life-threatening ailments like cancer, you require something more relaxant which I get from indica. Okay,
Okay.
cannabis is something. Let's say even if you smoking a sativa plant or sativa marijuana, you smoke a joint. If you feel it that way, You're gonna be energized. It's all about the mind here, how your mind is going to connect with the THC which is getting into your body, and how your endocannabinoid system is responding to that. Let's say for any person, if he smoke for the first time, his body is not going to understand that there is a THC is there. He's not going to understand. He going to be stoned there. Keep thinking what is happening with me. If we start someone with very micro dosing, more and more they will start understanding it's not a high. It's just that I'm getting the healthy effects of the plant, right? This
Okay,
is where the regulation, this is where you require a consultant, this is where you require someone who can guide you how to take it.
I see.
That's what the difference between a healer and a dealer, right?
Okay.
So,
Well, it even seems like it's getting so weird now. Like I never thought at this point, like in my life or something, you would see like every time you go to the store, you come across a CBD oil, you come across something now where it's now becoming more of a social trend. I think it's becoming a little bit less stigmatized now that it's becoming more industrial, which
mhm,
I have to agree and also disagree with. I don't
mhm.
care who you are. If you want to smoke, smoke. But it's the aspect of it seems like the government really just wants a way to regulate it, and marijuana is the one thing they have not been able to really nail down specifically when it comes to just being able to reproduce it. It seems like that's just so wild. So I guess that's where we get hemp.
So there will be a lot of studies where it has been proven that a full spectrum THC plant. See, I'm not against anything like CBD or THC. I am very well. Yes, I support CBD. It's do require at a certain you do require it for a body for a certain thing, right? But when you talk about a different cannabinoid here, you require it for a different ailment. Now, why government is emphasizing on CBD? What I think is because that THC have a capability of taking care of the things where people actually go to the pharmaceutical companies, right? If let's say for example someone has a cancer, unfortunately yes they have to go through chemo and everything. They have to go through years or months of treatment paying to the pharma company. What don't you think pharma company will be threatened by a medicine which can actually take care of, which can actually cure a person, where pharma has been getting a lot of revenue out of it? That would be the
It
thing.
seems, yeah. People always talk about that they've discovered the cure for cancer, but they never release it because they make way more money off cancer treatment in general.
Yes, we have seen a lot of testimonials. I mean, if I talk about myself, when I started Hempistani myself, I just wanted to aware the people. Yes, it's not a bad thing. It's just a plant, man. Why it's called weed? Because it's just a wild grass which gets grown and you can use it and you can get it benefit out of it. I've been started getting a lot of testimonies, or I've been got approached from people where they have said they got cured by using these medicine, which is based on cannabis or which is based on CBD. So yeah,
Well,
that
a lot of the time, like when you started, like why is everyone afraid of this? Is what you're saying. The reason why people are afraid of it is because they don't understand it, and the only thing that they really understand is what gets played on television, and what gets played on television is a really distorted view of what this thing actually is. Like
yes,
nobody
we
wants to
need
research
we
it
need
because
voice.
yeah, well, nobody's going to research it. Nobody's going to do any of these things because when they see it on TV, they're like, that guy's a lazy piece of shit. I don't want to be like that guy. It's like, but that's not what it is. Hollywood made that marijuana. Hollywood made that image. Hollywood made what we call the average stoner, when really that's not what it is at all. It has major benefits. I mean, if you see anywhere of the trajectory of where we're heading as a society, it's you're seeing CBD, you're seeing all these things become legal because of how big mental health is now. We're seeing people from younger and younger ages suffer from it. CBDs is one of the most common things that help with mental disorders when it comes to decreasing anxiety and helping with a little bit of focus. I know definitely fighting off depression, which is like the major thing that a lot of people are suffering from. The fact that we still stigmatize it as like people just don't want to dip into it because they're afraid of what they saw in a movie or something, it's really really doing the drug or just doing the plant in general a disservice.
Yes, yes, that's what the point is. I mean, what? You won't believe what actually makes me angry when I see my parents taking a lot of medicine, a lot of drugs given by doctors every day. Why? To take care, to control their blood pressure, to take care of insulin level. I asked the doctor, is it gonna get cured or not? He said, no, you have to be dependent on these medicines. That's not what I expect from my doctor, right? If I go to my doctor, I expect him to give me a cure, not to be just dependent my body on that drug. And we have seen there will a lot of research, a lot of people we have seen that yes, when it cannabis or a hemp come into a picture, these things actually cure those problems, right? These hemp cannabis is actually taking care of the illness from the roots itself. It's not depending. It's not like my sugar is getting low and it's I get a medicine and get control. No, now the marijuana, the cannabis, and the hemp is going in my body. It's actually treating internally of my illness. That's what the difference is.
So how did you come across like being so fascinated with just this topic in general? It seems like, when you started your company, like how did you come to that conclusion? Did you have something that impacted your life that got you there?
Uh, I always been uh, think that yeah, cannabis can help people. When I used to study a lot, I mean, Hempistani is something that I just started nine or 10 months back, just as professionally. Even before, I used to study a lot. I used to see a lot of videos that yes, it's helping people. I even used to say to my parent, or if I meet someone, yes, it's something which is helping you, which is actually helping people. Now, even in India here, when things started evolving, now from past 2017, uh, one state have already legalized the cultivation of hemp, and now another state, like two, three states now, which have legalized the cultivation of hemp now in their state. Now, I started to meet a lot of people. Then I've started to listen a lot of people. Yes, this thing which we are seeing on the internet or something we see in the video, it's actually happening because I cannot just rely on something which I see on the internet. I want to, anything can happen on the internet. Anything, anybody can put anything on the internet. When I've started seeing people, when I've started talking to the people, yes, it's actually helping. It's not a hoax or it's not a stage show which is just to promote cannabis or just to promote stoners. It's actually a medicine. That's when we got a lot of confidence. We started speaking more about it. We started educating more about it. The more that I can. I mean, still now, if I come up to someone in my family say, "What are you doing?" I'm gonna do a hemp, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're gonna grow a ganja." So that's what I come across every time, and I have to explain them. Yes, it's a beneficial plant that I'm talking about. I'm not just making everybody stoned in the whole world. That's not my plan.
Yeah. Well, how do you usually bring someone to a conclusion that it's not that bad? Like, what types of research or facts have you found out that you usually tell them about? Like, certain studies, certain different types of ways to be able to explain it to someone who probably has a lot of questions.
I started. There's a famous saying, "The charity starts from home." I actually started with my mother itself. She used to have some pain in the knee. I started with the hemp seeds oil. Then seen that we have some people living from the mountains where they habitually take hemp seeds as in their daily meal. They take hemp seeds. They make sauces out of it. They make dip out of it. They use it there at home. I started telling her about this. Yes, it's a beneficial plant. She started using hemp seed oil. She got understand. Uh, there is one company here who actually make THC CBD capsules, right? And because as an Ayurvedic, it's still accepted in India. So those medicine I've started giving it to my mom. I tried myself. They felt changes. So this is how I started. Now I have someone with me. I have my parents with me. If I go to someone and saying this is what I'm doing, my family is actually backing me up. Not just I'm their son. Only yes, they understand what he's doing is right.
Has she noticed any reasonable change in the way that she's been feeling just because of the stuff you've been giving her?
She actually using hemp seed oil on a regular basis. So earlier there have been a lot of like home remedies that they use, like mustard oil, or they use any saturated fat like ghee or oil. But when I told them about hemp seed oil is something which can help you with everything, she started using it on or like If there is any problem in the knee or she have pain in the knee, if my dad have some kind of skin issues, he started using that oil. Uh, uh, Unfortunately, I have a dog who actually got a cancer, like a skin cancer. I've started using hemp seed oil on his ailments.
What's the different effects of it on a dog though? Because it seems like for a dog it would be a completely different process just based on the metabolism.
I just applied the seed oil, which it's not something that I'm giving him. I'm not putting in his body. I'm just applying a oil on his wounds that he have because of the surgery and everything, so he don't get infection, and it's helping him a lot to recover those things.
I definitely think that
And
like
he's fine.
when it comes to just like you're seeing like things like dog biscuits, you're seeing all these types of things that are now infused with hemp or
Hmm.
CBD, like in the store nowadays.
Hmm.
I think people are starting to wake up that this is a way better option than opioids. I don't think a lot of people understand how very deadly opioids are. It's a giant money scheme, basically, in a way. I mean,
Oh man, yes.
the amount of money that gets dumped into pharmaceutical drugs, this little pill that they consider,
Hmm.
oh, this will cure you. No, it doesn't. It just delays the effects. It just makes it all go away for a little bit, but it comes right back. And it's the same thing kind of with CBD in a way, but CBD doesn't kill people.
Yeah, you don't get overdosed on this. You cannot get overdosed on it. Even if it's CBD. You can get overdose on pharmaceutical drugs, but if you more consume it, you're gonna sleep for a longer time. That's it, or you're gonna trip more for another one day. That's the worst that can happen to you. Okay, but
And
yeah,
it's I know a lot of weightlifters and a lot of people, like I know Bruce Lee used to chew hash and all these types of things because the effect that he used to get from it was an anti-inflammatory where it would help with he had a spinal problem and it helped with the swollen muscles and tissue around his back. I mean, there are so many things that are way better than a pill. What types of things would you try and like tell people just if you met them on the street and they ask like, why is this better than a pill?
everybody know there is side effects of pharma. It's just that people don't know so far there is something is there to alternate that, right? If I tell someone go to alternate, if I tell them why you taking so much medicine, they say, do I have any other option? People are actually who got hooked to those drugs, right? The another thing that people are depending on is like homeopathy. Very few people who try homeopathy. There are very few people who try even Ayurvedic medicine. Even since the cannabis is banned, cannot be sold commercially in India. The base of the Ayurvedic medicine is cannabis itself. It's been written in the ancient books that the main compound of the Ayurvedic medicine is cannabis. If the that main compound is missing, how an Ayurvedic medicine is supposed to work, right? Yes, uh, there have been studies in the ancient time itself that cancer and AIDS, HIV can be treated by cannabis itself. Since the cannabis got banned, that compound got deleted from the base medicine.
Hmm. See, what I always kind of question is, it seems like I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. When it comes to the idea of how now more people, especially in America, people are being very, very open to cannabis now, or seeing it become legal in so many states. Do you think that this is just like a turning point? Do you think that in maybe the next 20 years or so that it's going to be ended up being legal everywhere, or do you think that it's going to be a lot longer than that?
I think it's gonna get legalized sooner. I mean, people not legalized. People, I would say, people will gonna start accepting. Yes, it's beneficial. Things the way are progressing, right? I mean, the thing states is progressing in many states got legalized. That is on the basis of the people vote itself. It means the people are getting agree. Yes, it should be legalized. There are a lot of European countries who have legalized it. If we talk about China, China is already doing it on an industrial basis. The Thailand, where people get jailed just for carrying a little amount of marijuana, they have legalized it now on a medicinal basis. So people have started, yes, people have started understanding these things. So I think it will be acceptable in few ways by the people, and if it's getting accepted by the people, I think it's like a way towards the legalization, or I would say uh, a medical basis for it.
Now, can you explain to me exactly what a cannabinoid is? I had someone try and explain it to me a little bit before, but it seems like I know there's like 200 and something cannabinoids inside of a plant, so it's very, very hard to kind of, be able to explain that.
See, cannabinoids, yeah, like you said, there are a lot of cannabinoids in the plant of marijuana. Like THC is a cannabinoid, CBD is a cannabinoid, CBG is a cannabinoid, CBN is a cannabinoid. Terpenes have a different effect on the body. Every cannabinoids give a different effect to the body, right? So the only problem is right now why CBD and other compounds are expensive because the extraction process takes is actually expensive itself. That is why the end result is getting, expensive. Though it's a wheat, right? Wheat is something which get grown anywhere, but to specifically take the components out, specifically take the cannabinoids out, it's actually expensive process.
But it seems like even though like hemp is it seems like it's so stigmatized, it seems like it's a lot easier material to build with rather than using or just create things with than the average tree.
I mean, if we are talking now, let's talk about the industrial part. It was only a medicinal THC that CBD and we were discussing. If we talk about the industrial part, we know how many trees are being getting cut in the whole world. Deforestation is happening. Well, there is a very well research that hemp can actually alternate that. We can save the trees. We can save the earth itself. That is the industrial. That is one of the more beneficial part of the industrial hemp, right? We can actually save the world by saving the trees, making papers, making clothes out of it. We know how much cotton, how much time that cotton takes, how much water that it takes out of the land itself when it comes to hemp. So one plant giving you so much thing. It's giving you medicine. It's giving you a spiritual effect. It's giving you clothes. It's giving you saving your land. It's giving you paper. It's giving you milk. It's giving you oil. It's giving you everything. Right?
So why
That
the
is
fuck aren't we using it? Holy shit. Like you just listed off so many things. I'm like, it still is a like boggle to my mind of how we're not using this as more of an effective material. Like it's just now becoming people are like, oh, we can do it, we can use it this now. It's not as stigmatized. I'm like, why weren't we doing this for so long? Why did we have it so down?
that is why we are fighting. That's the fucking reason we are fighting right now. Yes, these are all the benefits. That's what we are trying to do here to spread the awareness among the people that yes, it should be legalized. I have few plans coming up in even in India itself where we try and approaching the rural area or the people itself where we're going to explain or we're going to explain the farmers about the benefit part out of it. Why India can be beneficial from industrial hemp because 60 to 70% of the revenue of the population in India is indulged in agriculture itself. And you won't believe how many farmers are actually dying because of the drought, not because of the organized agricultural sector, not because of the things should be provided by the government in order to increase the agriculture. Now, hemp can alternate that. Hemp can actually help poor farmers with industrial hemp. They can actually get a lot of revenue out of it.
So it's all a money scheme.
I don't know, man. What do I say?
Dude, this it's
We are all
it's freaky because see, I always go back to like I'm a big mental health advocate, and I've seen people that suffer from severe anxiety start switching over to medical cannabis and see their whole way just completely change. It's fascinating because I mean, from every experience I've ever had with marijuana, it hasn't been a good one, mostly because I've gotten too high from it. But, from your own kind of influence as well, do you have a type of marijuana or cannabis story that you kind of still remember, like either if it's your first time from smoking or just whether it was just your first time kind of discovering it?
uh, let's say the first time where I actually tried legally bhang, I would say legally now because I'm a radio. It's my there is a place of mine in Punjab, which is a state belongs to my mother. When I go there, uh, there is the festival of Lord Shiva, which gets celebrated every year. And the bhang, we say it bhang because it's a cannabis drink which get infused in milk, a lot of nuts. a lot of things, and you drink it, is actually very tasty. So I I tried the bhang, right? I tried like 3 or 4 glasses of that cannabis drink, and the first night I was like seeing everything, I could listen everything. The fan was spinning, right? I was understanding this is the bhang which is affecting, right? Next day I woke up and the effects were still there because it wasn't edible, right? Because edible and smoking have a lot of effects, a lot of different
Oh,
effects.
dude, trust me. I know about. Look, we could talk about
Yeah,
legally or whatever because you want to say radio. I'm like, look, I'll tell you, statute of limitations is gone for when I ate my edible. But when I ate this edible, it didn't hit me until the next fucking day. I was going into school and I was like, whoa, whoa, I need to like go home. I need to go to the nurse and lie down. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'll do.
yeah, edible, lot of stories, man. We can go on, we can go on.
I
Yeah.
think that
So yeah, that was my first experience of the trying the bhang. Yeah, it was getting distributed legally and it was on the spiritual basis. Lord Shiva has been getting celebrated. Like Lord Shiva, if you Google it, Lord Shiva is actually recognized as the god of cannabis itself.
I think that a lot that happens to do with just getting high in general, I think it adds another layer to your life. First of all, when I say mean add another layer to your life, I think it adds a little bit of detail because now, ever since I've gotten high, it's been years, but I've seen the world in a whole new perspective, mostly because of the state that it put me in. It made me notice more about detail. It made me have more, I guess, detail to colors, to things around me, to taking in those little moments that we totally gloss over every single day. I mean, for people that don't ever smoke weed, they go right out their door and they're right in their car and they get to their job, go home, and then go to sleep. They live this robotic lifestyle. But people that have tried it before and know what they're missing out, they'll walk out on their front porch and a nice little quick deep breath of that cold fresh air hitting into their lungs, and they start noticing more, especially like with detail, the color of the trees, the taste of drinks, so many things. It seems like it really throws your body into a whole nother way of thinking, like everything that we've been living, these bad lifestyles, these bad habits we develop, whether it's drinking too much soda, whether it's doing all these things,
Yeah,
this plant in general or this drug in general has been able to show you like, hey, this is your fourth Diet Coke. Let's slow it down.
yeah. Hmm. That's what it is. In short, it straightens up your mind. It's actually helps you thinking straight. You started to understand what's actually happening with my body, what I'm taking, what is gonna do with my body, how much do I have to take it. You started to understand your body itself. And the moment you know what's right for your body and what is good for your body, that's all you need, right? That's all you need to control it. Nobody can teach you, you do this, you do that. Once you started to understand your body itself, that's it. You don't need anyone else to tell you anything. And that's what cannabis helps you here.
Why is it the fact that like the DEA and some major kind of corporations, when it comes to law enforcement or legality issues, they schedule marijuana as the same kind of category as heroin?
The only information that I have is it's watching through the media because since I'm in India itself, a lot of things seen that are in the videos or in the movies or let's say in the Netflix, a lot of other ways that we have to get the information is that yeah, either it's because people it has been stigmatized, right? And I have studied a lot of many places here. Yes, if the cannabis get legalized overall, it can be a threat to a nicotine tobacco company or alcohol industries too. And we all know how much tobacco and alcohol industries are getting revenue to every country.
You start noticing that the way we're living in society is backwards when it's more comfortable to take a pill rather than it is to smoke a plant.
That's how been people taught from the beginning itself. That's how you've been trained. Why people are getting more aware now because it's of the internet. People are just not only dependent on a government issue notice or a newspaper that I can get the information. People have internet. People have started interacting all over the world with each other, and they're sharing experiences. That is why the awareness it's still there. I mean, I cannot imagine having this kind of talk last year, like hopefully with someone. I can see now the people are getting aware, and even if they're not aware, they're ready to discuss about it. And that's what we want. I mean, that's what I want. If you have something about cannabis, or if you have something about it, come over and discuss with me, or discuss with us why it's wrong or why we bad. I mean, that's what all you need. You need to talk about it, right?
Yeah, but nobody ever wants to talk about it in the right way. It seems like every time we get some information about it or something, it's from either a guy that is completely stoned off of it, where he's kind of doing it a bit of a disservice, or we're talking about with people with media that want to play like, well, this guy was high and he smoked this and then killed three children. It's like, hold on a second. How real is that? Like, how are we blending the truth to fit a format here?
When you ask them, have you seen that thing, or you just have read it on the internet? That's it. That's where it answers you. You cannot be dependent on that, right? You cannot be dependent on anything getting been shared on the internet or Facebook, getting stigmatized. If you want to hear it, if you want to check it, you have to do it by yourself, or you have to show a live person. You need testimonial. That's where I say we need voices. We need people to tell about the. Yes, it's a medicine. Yes, it's gonna be a long fight. It's gonna be a long protest.
It's going to be a long, difficult fight because of the fact is when we stigmatize it so much, we make it so hard to get. We make it all these types of things. We don't have like now you're seeing shops open up. So I think now we're seeing it become more. It's going to be a lot, at least less stigmatized now that you can buy it in a store. That whole option, the way we're thinking as a society, where a pill is better than a plant, when instead of buying it from a store, you have to buy it from a sketchy person that's probably named after a color or something like, oh, that's red. He's my drug dealer. Um, when you start doing things like that, you basically give this drug like a cloak, and the cloak is it's a shadow. It's like this little corrupt view that is going to scare the shit out of you. It doesn't look appetizing. It doesn't look appealing to your eyes. But when you really just, if you sell it in a store, if you make it more open, if you show love to it rather than pushing it down and creating it this bad drug that's going to take over the world, you're going to see a whole completely different mindset of people that are going to be willing to try this thing. You said it best yourself. The fact that people, they're not going to find out this information themselves because of the way we stigmatize it. You know, you don't, when you taste a food and you buy something or you want to get try a certain food item, you ask for someone's opinion, then you buy it and you try it yourself and realize that your tastes are probably different from theirs. So if they tell you it's good, you might not like it. If they tell you it's bad, you might like it. Why don't we people just take that venture for themselves rather than labeling it as so bad because of something somebody told us?
Yeah, that's what the whole point is all about. That's what people need to understand, right? That is why, yes, I'm gonna come up with all this thing. I'm trying myself, even in the India itself, to get more testimonials. There are a lot of good companies uh, which are helping, which actually fighting with the government to get it legalized. They have shown almost like 4,000 papers of research in the court. There is a petition going on which is supposed to get heard in February 3rd. So those who are activists, the people who understand this thing, because a lot of people are even bounded by the law itself. The law in India, it's not clear as much, right? There are a lot of things where bhang is legal, cannabis is not legal, where their flower extraction is not legal, but it's legal somewhere on the Ayurvedic level. So there are a lot of laws. People are even scared even to talk about it. What will happen to me legally if I talk about it, or if somebody get to know I consume it, or what are the legal ways to get it? Nothing is there, right? People need to get aware. I mean, if we talk about states, yeah, there are a lot of channels. People in a lot of states it got legal, but when you talk about it, yeah, nothing is there. It's still like it's under a law that if you get this much amount of, if you get caught with this much amount, you will get jail out of it. That's what law says.
I think that since like with your research and your understanding of this, would you say that you like how often do you get people that are like labeling you as something or get people that label you a certain way or look at you differently because you're so impacted by this? Like it seems like, you know, you want to promote this word out there. You want to help fight this fight against this thing that people consider so stigmatized. And how difficult is it for you to be able to do that when so many people are just not open to it yet?
it is actually quite difficult for me to reach out to people when I tell them, yeah, there is a good part about the cannabis too. It's not only get stoned. What we just get is the witty smile. That's it, right? I want people to come and question me. Why are you doing this? If I come across the people who don't understand me, that's okay. I got connected with a lot of people now who understand some medicine. A lot of good vibes around me now. So I know I can go further and I can make those people convinced that it's a medicine too, who don't understand me. That's that's what you're fighting for. I got like only 10 months in this industry. I'm still learning. I'm learning a lot of things. I need a lot of things to know. And once I get those, I will come up with a lot of things, which I will show it to people. Yes, it's not only about getting stoned.
I definitely think that with a little bit more understanding, people can be more open to something like this. I think it's definitely going to take a little bit of time, but what would you suggest would be a fast way to kind of get progress going a little bit farther? It seems like there should be more that people are doing to be able to promote its wealthiness and healthiness, first of all, in general.
What we need is we need people who know about the. First of all, we cannot just start with legalizing cannabis all over the country. I don't think even a government in a position to have such a control environment where they can control the abuse part too, right? If I am giving something which can give me a lot of psychoactive effect, if I'm legalizing something, I think government will need to have think of something how they can control it. India have a lot of population. There are a lot of people in India, and it's not easy to do that. So it should start like few states have already legalized it. It should start with actually legalizing the industrial hemp in India because industrial hemp is something which is going to be very benefit for the agriculture sector and yes, overall for the economy itself and the farmers. I mean, farmers are farmers are something which are the one who are getting affected by the agriculture sector. But if this thing get organized, even the industrial hemp, even not about even cannabis. Cannabis should be there on the medical basis. Yes, you can use it. There is a medicine for you where it can cure you. Industrial hemp is there which can help you with cultivation, it can help you with industries, it can get you revenue. It should start with that. And once the people will start understanding the industrial benefits, yes, they will start to understand the other components too, the other things also.
In my opinion, I've only had one person that you would consider a drug dealer push anything on me, and that was a doctor trying to prescribe me a medication. When it comes to cannabis or anything like that, I've never had anybody push me onto that. I've had nobody, I mean, maybe peer pressure from a friend, but I've had nobody that is a reputable medical marijuana dispenser place try and push that into my life. They just said, hey, you can try this. I think that's the way people need to be looking at things. The fact that your doctor is going to be more about forcing this drug on you rather than the person that can show you a better benefit in a healthier way as well.
Yeah. We always try that as a friend to every friend. We always try that. I mean, that's how we start. We that's how you start, right? You educating about the closest person you know, either it's a friend or in the family. That's why I say the charity starts from the home itself. You will start the road from your home itself. Later on, the people will start spreading the word. This is how it's supposed to be. So if everybody know, let's say for example, you know the benefits of cannabis. I know the no benefits of cannabis. Anyone who else know, they should start it from taking. I mean, getting it used from their closest person itself. Right. That's how they will spread the word. We just don't have to like march up and say legalize it. It's gonna affect you. If you know these, if you understand this thing, start from your home itself. That's what I think.
Well, I really appreciate you coming out and doing the podcast, Mohit. It's been awesome talking to you, and it's hard to really like I said, try and narrow this down, obviously in an hour, but
Yeah,
it,
it is. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so much information. I just think people need to be more open to it as well.
Yeah, that's yeah. Thank you so much, Robbie, about this. I mean, yeah, if I somehow it's gonna help understand people, or somehow people want to know more about this. I mean, even if I am putting up, if we are coming up things, I want people to start to have questions in their mind. What it is, what exactly it is. Start questioning what is exactly. Only then people will get to know.
Yeah, sometimes the things that you're living your life by can be actually really, really corrupt. So there's got to be a better way of thinking about things too, whether it's just taking that puff or taking that first dip into something new that actually might be beneficial into your life.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
It's not just only about smoking.
Mohit, I want to give you here a minute at the end to kind of promote your page as well and promote your shop too, so people can see your work and research.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, my website is www.hempistani.com, which is HEMPISTAN.com. The same goes for the Instagram and same goes for the Facebook. Our website is all about right now where we are spreading awareness, telling people about the benefits of cannabis. And also through my website, if I can help people getting those profits too, any kind of hemp products if they are looking for.
Well, thank you so much, Mohit, for being on this episode of Out of the Blank, and stay tuned for our next episode.